Hi there, I'm Metagross Freak, and in the last video I took a look at the 5 preset pages and said what I liked and didn't like about them. For now, I'm going to be going on to the 4 trees I have made for my rune pages to tell you why I personally like those options better. Now, in case you're wondering why I have 3 that start off with Resolve, each one has a different purpose. The one I call the Healer Girls is designed for characters like, like for example, Janna, Soraka, Karma, Lulu, characters that are basically designed for heals and shields on allies. That's what I'm going to be looking at first, followed by what I call the Sadistic Support, basically for support champions that are designed to do a little bit of damage. Characters like Morgana, Zyra, support Lux, and possibly Sona if you prefer doing damage over utility. Next I have the Team's Shield, which is going to be a support page for those tanky supports, characters like Liana, Taric, maybe Braum and Rakan, potentially, if you decide not to go down what I call the Mighty Glacier. Basically, if you're getting the Relic Shield items, what I called the Team Shield is the tree for you. And last but not least is the Mighty Glacier. Basically, there are tons of tanks, and I like AP tanks, characters like Malphite, Zac, and Maokai, and the Mighty Glacier is basically what I have planned for them. So let's hop into it. The Healer Girls is basically your classic healer, shielder, support page. We, of course, have Guardian for giving our allies a little bit of bonus shield when we're nearby them and healing and shielding them. Font of Life to help our allies heal even more when we impair our enemies. Iron Skin to not only give us some early game armor, but when we have some consumables, like for example with our potions or potentially biscuits if they're still in the game, or even from an ally healing us, we get even more armor. Plus, if you're playing a character like Soraka, or if you're playing a character like Soraka or Sona who can heal themselves, this makes it even better. And of course, we have Revitalize because that just gives you even more healing, kind of similar to items like Redemption and Ardent Sense are just bonuses to healing and shielding. Just a phenomenal tree on the Resolve side. And then I chose to go down Ultimate Hat, since, supports being able to spam their ult is even better. And Transcendence for a little bit of extra CDR. Plus, since pretty much every support item gives CDR, if you end up rolling over with excess CDR, it gives you some extra ability power as well. 10% of cooldown reduction gives you 20 ability power, which is just kind of nice for a rollover, especially because it'll help give you a little bit extra damage. Next up, what I call the Sadistic Support is again for those supports that still can support, but maybe are a little more down the damaging line. For example, this time I have Summon Aerie. Summon Aerie is a really great keystone for supports as well, because you can use it to either shield allies or damage enemies. So very, very versatile, especially with champions like Sona or Morgana or Zyra. Those for Zyra and Morgana maybe not as good until you get like Redemption or possibly a Locket of Iron Solari. Again, we're going down Ultimate Hat and Transcendence because they're phenomenal, and then because the whole idea of a AP damage support is early game you're a support, second, and then late game you basically become a second ADC. So we have Gathering Storm to give you that. You don't become a second ADC, you become a second AP carry. Here with Gathering Storm, you gain more AP as the game goes on. And then, of course, since you're a support anyway, you probably want to have something to help you with warding. So zombie wards to give your wards a longer bonus, and it also lets you turn your enemy's wards into your own zombie wards. It's just a really good scale. I definitely like it a lot more than Ghost Poro and Eyeball Collection. And then we have Ingenious Hunter. Ingenious Hunter is actually really cool. I was playing a game earlier with Syra, and after getting all 5 stacks of the Bounty Hunter, I had 40% active item CDR, which basically let me spam my let me spam redemption so often. It was great. I don't know. That's what I would recommend. If you're not a fan of Ingenious Hunter, though, I'd probably recommend either Ravenous Hunter to help give you some regeneration, or Relentless Hunter to help you position more. I mean, it is out of combat movement speed, but it'll help you get into position for those supporting roles. So whichever you're more comfortable with. You could also potentially go Taste of Blood. That'll give you healing when you damage your enemy champion instead of when you take them down. I don't know, whichever you prefer. I'd probably either go Taste of Blood or Relentless Hunter then, if you don't like Ingenious Hunter. Next up, we're looking at the team shield. Again, this is the whole idea is basically you are the bulletproof shield protecting your team. Think basically the frontline blocker like Braum would be, but for any tank support, including characters like Taric, or even, support Zac, because, we can do that now. We have Aftershock because pretty much every tank support has some immobilization, often their dash, and then being able to do a little bit of extra damage, kind of similar to your Face of the Mountain active proc, is going to be pretty nice. And again, we're going Font of Life because being able to heal our allies in ways other than our support item is going to make us a better support. I have Conditioning because that's better in the late game, and as a tank, late game is best game. And then Overgrowth. As a tank support, you're not really going to be stealing minions that often. You're just going to be proccing your Tribute, or whatever it's called. Basically, your support items stacks in order to get a little bit of gold and a little bit of healing to your ally. Overgrowth, however, will give you bonus HP, basically for just hanging out in lane. Meanwhile, I chose the Precision Tree to get Triumph to give us more health regeneration on takedowns, as well as a little bit of extra gold for some little flair. And then Legend Tenacity. This is actually kind of cool. Legend Tenacity basically will give you it'll give you bonus tenacity every time you help out with takedowns. Though the actual amount that it goes up to is only 20% tenacity. If you're using the skill Unflinching, you can just get crazy amounts of tenacity, because this gives you 10% for each summoner spell on cooldown, so that's 20% there, 20% here. You can have 40% tenacity. That's really good, though you have to remember it's just tenacity. It's not damage resistance. Cooldown will basically have very little effect. Not cooldown. Crowd control won't have as much of an effect on you, but again, you're giving up some bonuses in order to get that. I don't know. I like this one. This one I think I'm looking forward to trying out actually in my next game. And last but not least, what I'm calling the Mighty Glacier. I realize that this isn't for support champions. This is going to be mainly for those AP tanks, like I said, Maokai, or Sejuani, or Malphite, or Zac, or even, I guess, technically Rammus. Characters like that. And while I know I said in the last video I'm not a big fan of Inspiration, I think in this particular case it can help you out. Aftershock again, because it's good. Demolish, because now it'll help give you bonus damage to towers. And also, if you're top lane or jungler, you don't have to worry about getting ganks or giving good ganks to benefit from Font of Life. Demolish will help you out with that. It'll help you take down turrets if you're on your own on the top, or to help you out if you're tanking, or if you're ganking, excuse me. Conditioning again because you're a tank, and Overgrowth again because you're a tank. I chose Magical Footwear because as a tank you're probably not going to buy boots anyway. at least not until the late game, and so giving you free boots is probably a good idea. And I don't know why I have Celestial Body as the option I have. It's good if you're in lane, but if you're doing a jungler, it's probably not the best idea. Celestial Body does give you bonus HP at the cost of dealing less damage to champions. It's kind of a double-edged sword in that regard. If you are a top laner, this is probably the way to go. If you're going for a jungler that's an AP tank, I probably would go either Cosmic Insight in order to use things a little bit more frequently, especially since that's 5% CDR on Smite, or Biscuit Delivery just to help give you basically some extra potions. Go with what you're more comfortable with. I think for this, I'm probably actually going to switch to, I don't know. It's so hard to decide. Probably Biscuits. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on the options I chose for basically all three types, quote unquote, of supports, as well as some AP tanks. I know that the Mighty Glacier page was a little different, and it kind of was a little different than the support pages I have, but I wasn't really sure how to fit it into its own video. So thank you all for watching. Until next time, I'm Metagross and leave your comments below on what you think of my rune choices. Who knows? Maybe your comment will help change my mind, and I'll choose a different rune for my build. Alright, see you all next time. Bye.